And now we're going to look at another fight from the same tournament. This was the Mexican national team versus Albuquerque, New Mexico. This time we're going to take a look into the 132-pound division. Another fighter from the South San Jose Community Center, Jacob Romero. He'll be taking on Jesus Vargas. And this promises to be a good match also. Romero very powerful and getting better and better as a boxer. And right now, let's get the introduction. Okay, so the two get the instructions. It's at center ring, and we're about ready to go here. Mexico versus Albuquerque, New Mexico. And it's Jacob Romero and Jesus Vargas. 132-pounders. You may remember Jacob Romero. We interviewed him a couple of months ago here on the 8-Count Boxing Hour. He's a real nice gentleman, and he's getting better and better as a boxer each time out. Another one of those San Jose Community Center fighters trained by Jim Johnson and Jake Valencia. And now we're just waiting for the bell here. The two are ready to go. And there it is, we're underway. Okay, the two touch gloves and the action is underway. Jacob Romero in the black shirt, and his opponent Jesus Vargas out of Mexico wearing the blue shirt with the red trunks, white stripe down the side. Both men are right-handers. We don't know much about the Mexican fighter, but we do know that Jacob Romero is a very powerful fighter. He scored a very impressive knockout here on the 8-Count Boxing Hour a few months ago also. That was at a tournament held at the Barelas Community Center, and he's really impressing people with his boxing skills and power. And I guess there's just something about that name Romero that means good boxing. Again, you see Jacob now with his hands up high. He's not a dancer. He will fight with you. And the Mexican fighter looks like he's trying to get aggressive now, trying to move in on Romero. Jacob keeping his hands high, a good tight defense. We're just underway, round one. This is the 132-pound division, the open division. And there's a good right hand now that kind of comes around the side by Jacob Romero. The Mexican fighter now trying to slip that jab in and follow it with the right hand, but so far Romero has been able to avoid those shots. Again, the Mexican fighter very lean. Looks like he's a little bit taller. Pretty slim. Oh, and there's Romero again showing that power. He has good power in both hands. And the Mexican fighter comes back with a good right hand. That's Jesus Vargas. Again, Vargas comes back and he lands a left hand to the body now. And that might be his key to victory here. Looks like Romero's kind of tough to get to upstairs, so maybe the Mexican fighter should go downstairs a little bit more. We're at the East San Jose Community Center in Albuquerque. This tournament's been going on all day here, and right now we're in the 132-pound division. We hope you enjoyed that world title matchup. Sean McLean from Rio Rancho winning the IBC Cruiserweight title. And Marty Maestas winning his match here in this tournament. And right now we look at Jacob Romero. He's mixing it up now with Mr. Vargas. And Romero keeps trying to get that right hand in. You see he's kind of chopping with the right, and if he straightens it out, it's really a powerful weapon. And there's a good left hand, and now Romero scores a couple of shots on the head of his opponent. And Vargas, pretty tough, takes him and comes right back. I've seen a lot of guys that cannot take that power. Again, Vargas now trying to work his way in. He just needs to score, and ooh, Romero just misses with that right hand. Jacob Romero, he doesn't quite have a nickname yet, but if he continues to win, I'm sure he'll earn one, and that ends the first round. So a pretty good opening round. I think Romero did a little better on scoring-wise with the clean punching. And right now we go right into round two. And again, you see Romero coming back. He's been able to land that left hand. Seems that Vargas is really watching out for the right, so Romero trying to get that left hand in there, and that'll score just as well as the right. Again, Romero misses with the right, comes back with a left and lands it. Both men are pretty cautious here. Neither man just throwing caution to the wind. They're both good, skilled boxers, keeping their hands up, tight defenses as best they can, and pretty evenly matched. A lot of pride at stake here as, of course, New Mexico's fighters representing their state and their country, and the Mexican national team would like to get some wins here on foreign soil. Of course, all the amateurs in the world looking forward to the next Olympic Games. A lot of dreams. And a lot of these fighters also talking about turning professional. So we're in round 2 now. Jacob Romero and Jesus Vargas. And there you see Vargas trying to fake Romero out of position, and Jacob not going for it. Jacob's a pretty smooth fighter. We just saw Marty Maestas, who's more of the non-stop attack, very offensive fighter. Jacob Romero, much more of a patient fighter. Oh, and he lands a big left hand, and Vargas really got shook. His legs just buckled, and as I was telling you, there's that power demonstrated from Romero. Just about every fight we see, he hurts his man. He really has power in both hands. And you could just see the legs of Vargas buckle, and I don't even think Romero caught him completely flush. And now Romero comes back with a left hand and tries to follow it with the right. And Vargas just holds on. Oh, and there's the right hand again getting in. You can see that Romero sometimes slapping with that right, and when he straightens it out, it's a boomer. He really can put some concussion on his opponent with the straight right, but he does tend to slap with it. If they can just get him to constantly throw that straight right, it will really be a weapon. And Jacob Romero improving every time out. So he scores and gets the crowd woken up here. And now Mr. Vargas being much more careful about getting hit with those big shots from the outside. And there you see Romero now trying to come back with that left hand. Another left hand now by Romero. The crowd now sensing that Jacob Romero has a good shot at winning this fight. And that ends the second round, one more to go. And here at the 8-count boxing hour, we do have Mr. Romero ahead on our scorecard. Of course, that's not official. And this final round, very important. It hasn't been a one-sided affair too much, so we'll see what this round has in store. And now you see Vargas really trying to put some movement on Mr. Romero. I think his coach probably told him, you're going to have to outbox this guy. You've got to have this round. And I'm sure they're always afraid of the hometown decision, but good, fair judges here in New Mexico, that should not be a problem. And there you see Vargas now. He scores with a right hand. And Jacob trying to come back with some rights of his own. Jacob Romero has not been hurt in this match. Both men exchanging pretty evenly, and if this was a professional fight, no doubt Jacob Romero would be ahead. But this is amateur boxing, and the judges are simply looking for scoring blows. How much punishment is administered is not as much of a factor as it would be in the professional ranks. And there's a good right hand from Vargas, and Romero tries to answer back. And Romero slips out. He was in the corner there a minute. He slips out to his right. He's going to have to avoid Mr. Vargas here for another minute or two. And there you see Jacob trying the big right hand again. And he comes back with the left. So Jacob Romero working with both hands. Again, coming over the top with the right, just grazing his opponent. And now Vargas trying to walk down Jacob Romero, but not very effective on the part of the Mexican fighter. And there you see him trying that left hand to the body. And Romero fights his way off the ropes again. Every time Jacob feels the ropes on his back, he seems to come back fighting. Jacob Romero, the pride of the San Jose Community Center, started out just working there, and he got onto the equipment, and the coaches were kind of keeping their eye on him. Next thing you knew, he was in the ring, and he's off to a good amateur career as a boxer. He's got a lot of natural talent. And there you see him, oh, just grazing with that big right. And there's the left, both hands effective now. Jacob Romero, you've really got to watch this guy. He comes from both angles. Vargas now tries to get in with that jab right hand. Romero answers back, and both men just tie up. And there's a right hand landed by Romero again. And there's Vargas sticking that right hand in there. Pushes Romero against the ropes and hammers with the other hand, and Jacob just slides out. This is pretty much the way the fight's been going. And there Jacob again stinging him. Oh, and there's a good left hand now that connects. Jacob Romero, and he sticks the jab right into the face of Vargas. Jacob Romero now, oh, and a big left hand again staggers his opponent. Jacob Romero now starting to take control of this third round. And that could be just about sealing up the victory for him. This would be a very impressive victory for him, beating the man from Mexico here. And that is the fight, and it's in the hands of the judges. So it was a good match, and right now we're looking at some replay action. And there you see the left hand from Romero that staggers his opponent. He really stung him there for the 8 count. And that was back in round 2. And he kind of wobbled his man again in the third round. Jacob Romero demonstrating his power. And that'll serve him well if he ever turns professional. His opponent, a good boxer, but I don't think he could match up with the power. He was being hurt. Second and third rounds, he got stung. That kind of took him out of his fight plan. A good crowd here, very supportive of the fighters, of the local fighters. And here you see Jacob Romero coming over, good sportsmanship. And here's a little action from round 1 right here. There you see Vargas comes in, and then Romero just says, throws the left and backs Vargas about 2 steps backwards. That power really in evidence tonight against Jesus Vargas on the part of Jacob Romero of South San Jose Community Center. So the judges are adding up the scores. I guess it's pretty close. It's taken them a long time to get it together here. But right now, let's go up to the ring announcer and find out who won this exciting match.
Weight class 130 and the winner by point system from Albuquerque.
No doubt about it, the winner of this match, Jacob Romero. So congratulations, Marty Maestas, and congratulations to Jacob Romero of the South San Jose Community Center boxing team.
On the belt, that boy, right there you go.
Like, I got my new belt, my new accessories here for the day.
You got earrings to go with the belt?
Silver,
Okay,
not
there you
gold
go.
though. Sorry.